there, degenerates, and welcome to another episode of Coach Wang. Today we are going to be looking at the advantage and disadvantage state in Ultimate. So I know I went through my video yesterday and I saw a lot of people making comments on Reddit and also on the channel itself, and they were pretty confused about why I was recommending not playing Smash 4 as much as some other games. And this video actually will kind of go into the main reasons why I kind of still support that, but there were a couple of things that people pointed out that I do actually want to correct here. Before we get into that, I want to say shout out to you guys for getting us to over 100 subscribers now. We're at 1 of 2 at the time of me recording this, so definitely feels good, moving up in the world somewhere. And I'm glad that most of you guys are enjoying the content so far. So, you know, keep chatting with me, keep letting me know what you want to see, things that you want me to cover, any questions that you have. The main thing I always want to promote on here is a healthy discussion of the game in a competitive sense. So that way I learn things from you, you learn things from me, and then overall we'll all learn things from each other, and hopefully we'll all be, you know, prepared for when Ultimate comes out and we'll just know what's going on a lot more. So some things that I did want to talk about earlier. So one of the things that I missed was that Smash 4's ledge mechanics. So this is actually a huge advantage state thing that I kind of glanced over in my last video. So playing Smash 4 for learning how the ledge mechanics work actually is going to be very, very big and crucial. That's one thing that Project M, except that one has it a little bit to a degree, and Melee don't really encourage is, you know, you refresh your invincibility every single time you grab ledge, but in Project M it was limited to 5 and your invincibility ran out every single time you re-grabbed it. And obviously both of those games don't have ledge trumping as well. So in that case, you know, the ledge mechanics of Ultimate are the exact same as Smash 4. So if you learn how to ledge trap in Smash 4, you're going to be extremely good at ledge trapping in Ultimate. Main reason why is in Smash 4, there's some cheap gimmicks that you could do. Like, some people had better get-ups than others. That's, of course, going to be true in Ultimate again. But also the way that air dodging worked, it made it a lot easier to recover in certain areas. Like, you could jump air dodge. Like, for example, Duck Hunt, you only had 1 frame where you could punish him. Others, it was like 3. But you could jump and air dodge, and it was a lot harder to hit them. This one, you could jump in directional air dodge, but I have a feeling it might be a little bit easier to punish. But if some people are able to go far distance, then it might be a little bit harder, but we'll definitely talk about that more in here once we finally get into the video. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh, character-wise, Dr. Mario. I did get to play him some more yesterday in the Smash Ultimate demo, and I was able to confirm that his cape does not, in fact, send you straight up, like I thought in my Dr. Mario analysis video. It's just a new animation where he lifts it up like that, and the 2 times that I saw it, Yoshi was jumping, and then with the shooting star from Mario Galaxy, whenever you throw that, it actually does bounce straight up. So it's just the 2 footages that we had of Dr. Mario, of him using that cape, just both of the times that it happened, they just happened to be going up, and that's why we saw it. But no, it does in fact just only reflect you. The new vertical animation is to match the hitboxes better, because his was always more vertical and Mario's was more horizontal. Wasn't always the case. Like back in Melee, if Dr. Mario's was just gigantic, Mario's wasn't as big. But now Mario's a little bit more horizontal, Dr. Mario's more vertical, just like it was in Smash 4. I imagine Ultimate's going to be the same case too, but without seeing the hitboxes for themselves, it's going to be a little bit harder to tell. But once we get our hands on the game, it should be pretty easy to figure out. Now, with that said, let's get into today's topic. Okay, so you guys might recognize this. This was the Spain Invitational Tournament. So out of all the footage that we have for Ultimate, this is still among the best that we have in terms of being able to analyze what is going on in this game for some obvious reasons. First of all, it's 1v1, hazardless, no items, and 3 stocks. This case, they're doing 6 minutes here. Most people are talking about playing it with 7 minutes. We'll see what everybody ends up deciding in the end of the day, but don't be surprised if that ends up being the rule set. So now, something that I noticed is that there's some terminology confusion that people did have. So let's break down what is advantage state. So advantage state is, by definition, pretty self-explanatory. It is when you have an advantage over your opponent. Whether you have better positioning over your opponent, you still have a combo, you're getting them juggled, or you're edge guarding them, at that point you are in advantage. If you're on the receiving end of that, you're in disadvantage state. And this is a huge, important aspect of Ultimate that is extremely different from Smash 4. Of course, the general spacing and where you are is going to be the same as it is in Smash 4, but the way that the mechanics work and the way that you can punish your opponent is completely different. For example, there was a couple of characters where they kind of could just get out of jail for free, like Mewtwo, he could just kind of spam air dodge. In this game, he should still have a lot of good aerial drift and be able to up B in a different direction. It should still be really hard to punish him. Sheik's still going to have bouncing fish, so she should still be able to get out of it. But, you know, generally characters, they could just kind of spam air dodge in certain moments. And it was a lot safer than it was, like, for example, against something like Melee or Rivals of Aether or Project M, where there you would air dodge and then you are just in lag the entire time. Like, you are just, well, in those games you're in free fall, but in this game you're in lag, and it's going to be much easier to punish you in those instances. So that is the main thing that people need to be looking out for. So I don't remember if this match shows it off as much. But yeah, so right there, this is still all neutral interactions here. Like, they got their spacing, no one's got a clear advantage. Villager's not really in a bad, or Isabelle, they're both not really in a bad position being at the ledge, just because, you know, they're able to force you to come to them, and then they can get you off stage and start a ledge trapping scenario. And that's definitely, that's kind of, this range over here is probably where a Villager or an Isabelle wants to play. All around this part of the stage. Okay, good, you guys can see my mouse. I know there's an option to turn it off. So yeah, right now we're still in neutral state. So once we get somebody into disadvantage, let's break down what they're able to do. So, okay, yeah, so right there, we were in neutral, and then Ness initiated the parry there, and this time he was actually ready to go and punish it. I don't know if parry is based off of damage or knockback at all, but from what I remember seeing is that the stronger the move is, the more stun that you'll be put in. So there he was able to parry and then just get a dash attack out there. It was Lingering Dare. Lingering Dare isn't weak, but it's not like super strong either. So definitely the perfect punish that you can get. So now in this scenario, Isabelle's disadvantage isn't too bad. She's pretty far from Ness. Ness doesn't really have any options that should catch her. She has her slingshot, so that way she'd be able to keep him away. And overall, this isn't a terrible position for Isabelle at the moment. But let's try to find one. Okay, here. This is a very, very bad position. So let's go back a couple of frames and kind of break down the differences between Smash 4 versus what this game has to offer. So in Smash 4, air dodge was a pretty good option. So like, let's say Ness jumped up there. In some cases, characters could frame trap. I don't know. I think Ness could do up air to nair, and that would be considered a frame trap. But the thing is, if she's falling down and she air dodges and Ness is rising up, then she's going to be in the advantage, Ness is going to be in the disadvantage. So that way, he's got to be really careful about the way that he decides to shark and pressure her. So now, what are Isabelle's options here? So she can drift to ledge and then put her back to the very corner here. Or she could drift back and air dodge this way. As long as Ness doesn't commit to anything, he should be able to mix up and get that punish. Dash dancing is very good in this game, so he could run this way, let go, and then, oh, she's going that way. Let me catch that. Because the other thing, too, is air dodging. It keeps you in the moment. It keeps you a little bit above, and it backs you in the opposite direction, and then slings you in the direction that you wanted to air dodge in. So as long as you're aware of that movement option, then you should be pretty ready to punish it. The other thing that she can do too is just try to come down with an aerial. Downer's not a terrible move to land with, just because it lasts for a long time and it is a disjoint, and it should outrange basically every option Ness has. I'm not even sure if Yo-Yo could technically beat it out. So in this case, what you'd want to do as Ness is you'd kind of want to be at like at an angle that's sort of separate from where Isabelle is at the moment. And then like let's say this was Smash 4 and this was Villager. So this was Villager. Obviously, you do have the turnips. You can go back to ledge. You can also throw out the Lloyd Rocket as well as something that Isabelle doesn't have to like help himself stall. But then he could also just air dodge jump up air if he tried to go up and punish her. Whereas if Isabelle air dodges here and then Ness tries to jump up air there, then it's ended there. Him going for that high committal option was a mistake, and then even in Smash 4 would be as well. But you just have more opportunities to punish your opponent just because air dodge is so much weaker. And like, let's say he did wait. Oh, he air dodged, and let me try to punish that. The thing is, with some character like Isabelle or Villager, they'd be able to throw a nair immediately afterwards. So even then, they have a pretty good get off me option, since like, you know, air dodge is a pretty low committal option. It's just that we've trained yourself so much in this game that we're just ready to punish those automatically when it happens. But now if she air dodges, she can do the Smash 4 air dodge where you don't get any distance, but if she does a directional air dodge, she could be a lot farther away than what he was ready to punish beforehand too. So those are kind of the main factors that you need to get into your head when playing this game. So there, she landed with a nair. Ness didn't... Let's see. Nair's looking like a pretty good landing option just because the lag on it is so short. Oh gosh, she's about to back her hand into his face. That nair actually missed. That's funny. Oh, she air dodged. Okay, I mean, spot dodge, not air dodge. Let's see, what time are we at? Okay, so now we can break this down. She jumps slingshot. Sorry, it's taking a little bit to load. But yeah, she's coming down with the snare. This Nessa player, I think, could have like jumped naired right here or jumped up aired and probably would have been able to beat her out. But he wasn't ready for it. Or he could have just tapped his shield to parry. So that way he could have parried and then just got a jab punish or maybe like a grab here. And then thrown her off stage and got into a pretty good position. But yeah, I wasn't ready for it. It also kind of looked like she crossed him up too. Yeah, so now Isabel's a little bit too far away in this moment. And that's the issue. So the other thing that people keep talking about that is that a lot of people are comparing this game to Brawl 4 is the balloon knockback. So in my testing, if you're used to Smash 4 combos, most of the characters from that game retained theirs. The big exception is grab combos. Most characters lost those. As of right now, off the top of my head, well, three. There's like 3 characters that I know that really kept their grab combos. That would be Bowser, Dr. Mario, and Palutena. I mean, not Bowser, DK, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, Palutena, Dr. Mario. Those are the 3 main characters that really kept their grab combos. Of course, DK no longer has Ding Dong, but he has it at like with no rage. And then Palutena kept all of her grab combos. And Dr. Mario actually kept all of his grab combos. I haven't tested Overdose yet, but it does seem like it's very likely to connect, especially now that Fair comes out quicker. But yeah, overall, the main thing about balloon knockback is your combos from that game should still work. So if it worked there, you should be able to do it as long as your timing is good and you're not like, you know, late on your actions at all. And the other thing too is just because disadvantage state in this game is going to be a lot worse than it was in the other games. Like you don't have an air dodge resource to use freely anymore. It's going to be a lot harder. So yeah, here's now the ledge mechanics. Plays out kind of similar to Smash 4. In this case, this stage she could go through and then jump in up air. So you should be able to get like a good up air out of that. But oh, no. A little bit late. Also kind of a little wonky ankle there. And see, like, there's another thing, like, you'll notice that these players are playing this game a lot like Smash 4. No one's really trying to abuse dash dancing at all. They're running and shielding every single time. And you have to think about this. Every single time you press shield and let go, at a minimum, you're wasting 11 frames on that. Whereas, like, if you just dash cancel, that's, like, frames that you don't even have to spend on bringing on your shield at all. And actually, no, that's just the shield drop animation. It might even be a little bit longer than that. Like, it could be something like... It could be something more like 14 frames every single time you just run and shield. And in this case, you know, you're getting close to like half a second of time, and more than likely you're going to probably be like at a third of a second every single time. And in these micro situations, that adds up to a lot over time. So running and shielding, that's going to be a huge thing that people are going to be doing at first. But the people that get that dash canceling down, like the dash dancing, they're the ones that are really going to have the movement speed. Like anybody that's just used to dash dancing and implementing it in neutral, you're going to notice are probably going to move about 2 times faster than somebody that's going to be shield dashing everywhere. Because there's 2 things you need to remember. So shield dashing was really good in Smash 4, just because power shielding was really good, and a lot of aerials just were not safe on shield. Or in this case, you need a parry, so you need to tap and let go. So that itself is like a huge commitment, and you have to believe that somebody's going to be hitting you at that frame as well. Otherwise, like, you know, if they're just waiting and they see, oh, you're just running and shielding all the time, okay, I'll just run up and grab you every single time, and then I don't even have to worry about those parry frames at all. So in those cases, it's just going to put you in a bad situation, and then once you start spot dodging it, you just jump, cover the spot dodge with like a down air or something like that, whatever your combo starter is, and then that's what's going to get you going. So yeah, that's dash dancing. Like, not only is it going to be big in neutral, but you also need to be using that too in oh my gosh, you got a smirk on there. She got a smirk. But yeah, you also need to be using it in that advantage state as well. Like like, if you see somebody coming down, it's like, okay, I know they can air dodge. So if I commit to an aerial option here, well, in this case, if I commit to an aerial option here, she might be able to air dodge past me and just land. If I moves quick enough, I can get at that back air. But the thing is that dash dancing is going to help you a lot. In this case, there's a ledge, so you just kind of want to guard that at the moment, especially since, her recovery does not have a hitbox at all. She's just going to try to cover herself with aerial, so throwing out a way to cover this area right now. Like, if he just jumped down aired, he'd probably be able to catch her. But no, she had the slingshot there. I didn't realize that. I thought she threw out her slingshot beforehand, but no. She actually covered herself very well, so she would have been safe no matter what. But yeah, okay, now back again in disadvantage state. She just got off the ledge. I don't think she burned her double jump just yet. Actually, let's see how quickly she moves, because, like, there should be, like, a teleport frame just because of the way the balloon knockback works with jumping, too. Yeah, she moved quite a bit those last few ones. Yeah, okay, so that was just off of one short hop then. So yeah, see, now that he committed to this option, she should be able to, she's going to try to land with a down air or just land away with fair. As long as this move will auto cancel or just doesn't land with much lag at all, then he should be able to run and punish her, unless she does a double jump. Yeah, see right there, just run shield, and then that way he was able to get there. So he chose a good safe option. Like, that's something that you'd probably see in, that's the type of option that you could probably see in Smash 4 too, just run back air and then just cover their landing option here. So he did that with shield, so that way he was preemptively trying to guard against any attack that she would have, and lucky for him, she just like straight up missed, so didn't have to worry about shield stun at all. Out of shield nair, always been a great out of shield option for Ness here, and was just able to get the punish on her. But yeah, that's the thing. She just tried to come down with aerial because it's not like she really had too many other options in this case. She could have directional air dodged back and probably would have been able to be safe there. So in this case, him committing to shield, more than likely was going to work just because people are still playing with the Smash 4 mentality. But like once people start trying to think of, okay, let me mix up my movement with the directional air dodge, that's when that shield dash might just cost you enough frames where they're able to defend themselves or punish you before you get to them. So that's really important to keep in mind. Yeah, see, like right there, that's like just kind of a standard advantage state thing. So attack, shield there, because most likely they're going to come down with an aggressive option. Isabel player was not ready for it at that very moment. And yeah, that's one thing too, is like I think a lot less people are going to try to air dodge out of disadvantage now. That was a big thing with Smash 4 just because air dodge were so good. That's something I should talk about right now. Is that when you had somebody comboed, they would spam air dodge, so that way if it wasn't true, they would try to get out of it. In a lot of cases with the top tiers, it didn't matter if you air dodge out of it. You'd still be frame trapped in a way where you'd still be in advantage state. Where in this game, you're going to focus more on aggressive options since your air dodge is a lot worse now in terms of putting you in lag in the air. Especially since like if you try to tech, sometimes you'll just air dodge in place here and then you'll go in the direction that you tried to tech in. So that's actually something important to keep in mind. That's gonna, like, there were several times where I could have sworn I was teching at the right time, but I would air dodge right here, so he would do the little animation and then go, and if I checked left or right. So that's actually going to be kind of early meta punishes. Start looking out for those people that try to tech everything a little bit too early. Also, the other thing too is like I'm used to playing with analog control triggers, so in that case I was playing with the Pro controller, so maybe I am hitting tech a little bit earlier just because that's just the controller that I'm used to. But then again, I would also tech with my X button as well, so may not be just that. So yeah, also another important thing, keep advantage state combos. Expect less people to air dodge out of it, and expect people to come down with more aggressive options like you would in Melee or Project Down. Definitely something important to keep in mind. Oh, so the other thing too, huge part of advantage state. So people cannot run past you, and people have a much harder time rolling past you too, just because of the new mechanics of it. Like they have to literally dodge roll. I don't think they can tech roll past you unless their tech roll goes really far. So that way, when you covering ledge options and like you're back here, you know they cannot roll past you. So if you see them do anything that isn't coming towards you, you know exactly where they're going to be. And if they do tech roll towards you, then it's like you know they can't get past you. So him shielding right here and her being knocked down here, I don't think she'd be able to get past him at all, and you'd be able to cover a lot more options. You might even be able to like walk her to the ledge as she's tech rolling into you, so then that way you can push her even closer to the edge and like get that kill that you really need. So that's another important thing to notice. Remember, they cannot roll past you, so it is okay to rush them down in those cases and just, you know, get your punishes. So big part of advantage state here too. Remember, they cannot run past you at all. So that's another thing. So when you got somebody at shield and you're holding shield here, they legitimately cannot run past you, so you don't have to worry about them run past grab. Their only options is to jump or just run up and grab you. So holding shield at the ledge is a completely different type of advantage now. Or if their opponent has their back towards the corner. If they're hanging on ledge, think of it as smash 4. If they're on stage here and you have your shield up, if you're a heavy, that is a huge thing to have, because now they literally have to run and grab you. Otherwise, like, I have to commit so high to get around you, and most heavies have really good aerials too. So heavies at the ledge is definitely going to be something that's going to be terrifying for a lot of characters to try and deal with. So another big part of advantage state that everybody's going to have to keep in mind for this game. A lot of people are going to forget to abuse that, and that's something that I want the heavies to pave the way for. So if you're a K-Rool player, you're a Ridley player, DK Bowser, make sure you're holding shield at this ledge over here when they try to get up, and then just realize how little options that they realistically have to get past you. So yeah, good thing to keep in mind about advantage state, specifically at the ledge in this scenario. So yeah, what do you do in disadvantage? If you have a heavy shielding there, try to bait out an option from them. Most likely their tilts are going to cover everything, so your best bet is probably going to try and parry it. Air dodging is going to be really hard to do just because there's so much distance you'd have to go, and I'm pretty sure the hurt box is large enough that it'll just push you back. So maybe you'd want to jump, air dodge high, and get behind them, but if they're using a low commitment move, they'll be able to cover you very easily. So parrying and then just trying to psych them out with the grabs. Those are probably going to be your main best options here. Once again, disadvantage state, make sure you know what aerials you have that are completely safe on shield and how to land them properly. So that way, if you do land them, okay, I'm neutral on shield, and then know what your quickest options are out of that. If your opponent likes to shield, obviously grab them. If they love parrying, then make sure you're attacking less. That's going to be important, just because, you know, you don't want them to parry you and put you in lag and get that free punish on you. You want them to throw up and let go of shield and just waste their frames, because parrying, when you do that, it allows you to buffer, and I actually did hear you are able to buffer options out of shield. So know what those options are from your opponent, and that should help you decide on what type of punishes to go for. So let's see what happens here. So got a tech situation. This doesn't look like anything too interesting happened there. Yeah, going back in neutral. Isabel doing what she needs to do. Kind of like the villager game plan too. Yep, just back in neutral here. Yeah, I want to see if there's like any interesting setups that I can find that I haven't really thought about in disadvantage just yet. Yeah, he was kind of busted too. And yeah, see, like him shielding there means that her only option is either to jump or roll. She cannot run past Des when he is holding shield right there. Like, to me, that's insane. Like, a heavy can literally sit here and shield, and an opponent cannot go through them unless they have like a special, like a Koopa Clown Car or a Spin Dash, or if they roll past them. That is it. Like, holding shield at ledge is going to be kind of busted unless they got a command grab. Like, goddamn. Okay, yeah, so if she's invincible, that's something where you normally get shambled at, but I have done a pretty good job of maintaining it there. So we got advantage state here. See, look, she committed to no options there, and she had a pretty good chance to hit him and punish him. But the thing is, like, let's say she ran up and shield dashed here, and then he air dodged the opposite way. I believe you land with about, like, 30 frames of lag or something a little bit less than that. It's not super easy to punish, but it's not impossible to punish either. But if he air dodged this way and she shield dashed this way, then he would have been able to land safe, and then it's like, okay, we reset neutral if anything. So that's why, like, knowing your dash spacing and knowing their aerial spacing is going to be so key. Like, she wants to be in that burst range where she can dash dance in like Nair or Fair or something like that. That would be this Isabel's player's goal at this point. You're not going to really dash dance to grab just because her grab is pretty slow. But if you know they like to land with shield a lot, then of course it'll work out. But they don't really cover themselves with an attack. But if they're ranged, then maybe it'll work. But it generally, probably a bad idea. Yeah, things to keep in mind. Yeah, there we go, showing off how slow that grab is. And that up smash is kind of terrible. It doesn't seem like it's particularly strong, and it has no range too. So it's kind of like the worst of both worlds. But yeah, so I hope that kind of explained a little bit more about advantage and disadvantage state in this game for you guys. No, the kids I missed. Because I don't know if there are really any more other situations to comprehend, but okay, let's go over and review. So things to remember: in disadvantage state, you have a directional air dodge. If you use it too early, you're put into a ton of lag and it's extremely easy to punish you. If you're a character that's good at sharking, you're going to want to pressure your opponent there and make sure you can fast fall down so that way you can punish those air dodges. And you want to limit your shield dashing because shield dashing is just going to slow you down. You need to get used to that dash dancing in order to bait out those aggressive options from your opponent and punish them. You don't want to get into a parrying habit because your opponent's going to be able to read that and then they're going to be able to get the advantage over you. So that obviously movement, dash dancing, probably going to be your best bets in order to get back in the game. If they're more of a projectile character, then definitely consider how you dash dance. You want to be closer to them, or you might want to abuse shield a little bit more against them since they want you at a range rather than being closer. So keep that in mind which characters you're fighting. Legend mechanics, mostly going to be the same as Smash 4, but if you're heavy, abuse how good holding shield is going to be around this ledge, just because their options are going to be limited to jump and roll. That is literally their only two options that they have. Besides a command grab to get past you or do anything against you realistically. They cannot run past you at all, and most characters cannot go through it at all unless they have a very specific attack that allows them to do so. So big part of advantage is here, and the disadvantage I kind of described what you have to do. Not sure if you can air dodge through them, but of course if you air dodge through them, they'll most likely have an out of shield option where they can punish you. Like Ridley will definitely be able to nair out of shield, DK's got up B out of shield, Bowser's got up B out of shield. K. Rool, probably nair out of shield will be his option. So that's going to be my guess. So I think, what is K. Rool's down B? Huh, actually, okay, no, he has blunderbuss, he has the up B, crown toss. I don't think I know what K. Rool's down B is. Huh. I feel like that's just not a move I've ever thought to use before. Alright, I can go over some moveset analysis and figure it out. What else do we got? Yeah, so abusing air dodges. Make sure you don't commit too hard because the air dodge will make you your opponent land safe. So for disadvantage, you want people that want to do that. It'll be easier for you to get down. You want to shark smartly, and just know how your character can shark, and also know their dash dance speed. Because like obviously if you're playing a slow character like Zelda, your dash dance is only going to be so effective. You got to know their spacing and their range. Your dash attack will probably be your main weapon to get in just because she does go pretty far with that. It's a fairly strong move. But more than likely, you're just kind of want to cover all of the landing area with Phantom Knight anyways. And like, you know, since you are floaty, your sharking ability is not going to be too good. But, you know, your up air is at least strong and disjointed. So that's something that I have to look out for. But yeah, that's basically my quick synopsis of what advantage and disadvantage is like in this game. If there's anything else you want me to break down more for you, I'd be happy to explain a bit more. If there's anything that I missed, please point it out to me, and then I'll make sure I do an update video covering what you guys have talked about. Yeah, and if you like the stuff, consider subscribing, liking the video. Also, if you want to keep updated with the next time I'll do a stream and what the videos of the week are going to be, definitely give me a follow on Twitter as well. So that way you know what is going on with this channel and the Twitch channel as well as keep out what events I'm going to be at. And with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next video, which I'm about to record.